Come on in, surprise, it's me on a Saturday. I have so much to do. I figured, you know what? I'm going to do a video today, maybe even a second video later today or tomorrow. I have some catching up to do. Temu has been finally catching up with my orders. I have 7 orders outstanding, and they finally got some things to me. So you're going to get what I just got. Welcome back. That's all I can say. Welcome back. For those of you that have been here before, I appreciate seeing you again. And I know who's out there. I can see you. For those of you that are new, you've just entered Connie's little corner. Yep, that makes me Connie. I'm in a different corner today. Excuse me. I'm hunkered down by the fireplace. And yes, I'm a bit under the weather, which I did expect to happen. Anytime you change environment, eventually it catches up with you. And coming from a dry, hot, crazy environment in Arizona over to here where it's cooler, colder, wetter, damper. Yeah, but I'm okay. A little bit of a sniffles, a little bit of a tickle, but I'm good. And Mama's good. We'll talk about that later. So again, for those of you that are new, go on down below, grab my link. You can grab my code, which I'll pop up here for you, which is AFC 95851. Those 2 things will get you to download the Temu app, a $100 coupon bundle, and 30% off your first order, plus some freebies. For those of you that have contacted me about temporarily stepping away from Temu and then coming back after 16 days as a reinstalled user, make sure you've received any outstanding orders that you have. Make sure you've used up all your credits that you have. You do want to make sure that your orders are received in case you have to do a return. It's a lot easier if you still participate with Temu. If you've already canceled the app, you're going to have to reinstall the app to do a return. So it makes sense to hang on to the app until everything is done and then close everything out, leave Temu, take a break. Break is good for everybody. Take a break for 16 days. Use my link below and my code, which I just gave you. Come back as a reinstalled user and get your $100 coupon bundle and 30% off your first order as a returning shopper. Temu doesn't play favorites, but they do insist that you not shop with them for a while in order to get that. But anyway, you want to see some Temu today? I have a small sponsored order I'm going to show you. And I will tell you this is my last sponsored order, and we'll discuss that. And then I also have some game prizes. I think I had told you I had forgotten to claim, and I went back and I claimed them, and they came. They all came from Farmland. So let's get to it, shall we? I'm going to dig into this bag. Now, for those of you that are new, Temu is an online shopping marketplace, just like Amazon, where you have hundreds and thousands of vendors, individual sellers that list their products up on Temu. And then Temu just coordinates for the shipping and to get these products out to you. Temu doesn't set the rules and regulations. Those are set by the contracts with the sellers. So you'll have to check out all my different tips and tricks to get more information, or you can drop me an email. I'll put my email right up here, connieslittlecorner@gmail.com, and I will help explain to you what you can expect. Any questions that you have, by all means, I will be happy to answer them for you. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is from my sponsored order. Now, this does not have a price on it, but I will put the link and the price. All the prices and the links will be down below in the description box. This is an antique garden bell, and I absolutely love this. Look at this. Now, I had to put this little leaf on. This is heavy cast metal. It did not come with the mounting hardware, but as you can see, it's only going to take 3 screws to mount it. And I will get, because I have other things to do at the little house, this is going to be an extra doorbell. But I love the design of this. It's just a plain flower pattern. Inside is where the ringer goes, and I happen to have the ringer right here in my hand. The ringer just hooks on to the little loop on the inside like that. And I don't know if you can hear this. It's pretty loud. But this is going to be one of two doorbells that I'm going to have. I always wanted an old-fashioned doorbell, even if just for decor, and I absolutely love. This is heavy. I'm holding this thing in my hand, and this is heavy. I'd say this probably weighs maybe 2 pounds, right? It's just a standard cord here, which is fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weather the cord. I'm going to burn the ends so that they don't fray any further. And when you burn the ends, of course, you know they get that brown antique look. And simply by, believe it or not, taking this string off and soaking it in a cup of coffee, black coffee, it will absorb the brown tones and it will make it look more antique. So if you ever wanted to antique a cord or a rope, just let it soak. Sit it in coffee for a couple of hours, let it soak up, and that's what you'll have. So this is really, really nice. I'm very happy with this. The size, the weight, everything. They had a lot to choose from. I think this one was somewhere maybe $10 or under, but considering it's heavy cast metal, I really like it. Bell. Thumbnail. I don't like doing thumbnails, as you can tell. A lot of times I just let the computer pick it. Okay. The next item that came from the sponsored order, and there's only these two things in the sponsored order. It's a very small sponsored order. Let me get the bag out of here. Get that out of the way. This is a set of rugs that I got. Uh-oh. Did I forget? I should have opened it. I didn't open it. A set of rugs that I got for the bathroom and or the kitchen. Oh my goodness. They got this thing taped like crazy. All right, let me just rip into it this way then. I'll just rip into it this way. I have to pack up all this stuff anyway, take it up to my storage unit, because obviously it's going into my tiny home. So this is a set of 3 rugs. If I get it undone. Goodness gracious. Can't complain about the way they pack things, that's for sure. All right. So the first and the smallest rug is this one, which is roughly 18 inches. And this is nice fuzzy. Look at this. Soft, fuzzy, fuzzy brown. This one is going in front of the shower. This is going to be my shower mat. So I have something nice and fuzzy to step out on. Pretty cool, right? And it's in the cocoa brown. I think they call it a coffee brown. Now, if you remember, I put up a picture of my vanity, and I'll put up another picture up here of the vanity that I'm putting into the bathroom of my tiny home. It has brown antiquing tones in it. So this is why I picked the brown shades of the rug, so that it would coordinate with that vanity. Because that vanity, that's the centerpiece of the entire room. So this is the one. This is, well, it might actually be more than 18 inches. It's 100% polyester, which doesn't surprise me. This is, oh, they have everything in centimeters. Are you kidding me? Okay, anyway. It's approximately 18 inches. So that's for in front of the shower. This one is for in front of the back door, where Levi will be coming in and out. This one is about 30 inches, 28, 30 inches across, and about 16 inches this way. So this is going to be his, I gotta wipe my feet one. I don't want to put this down in the bathroom because it will take up too much floor space. Now I could put it sideways and have one part by the vanity and one part by the shower, but the vanity is at the front of the bathroom and the shower is at the back. If you saw the blueprints that I put up on last week's videos, I couldn't put this across. I'd have to put it lengthwise right in the middle, and I really don't want to do that. I don't want to fill the floor space. So this is Levi's foot wiper. And this one is going in the kitchen along the sink area. This is 48 inches long and about 18 inches wide. And again, it's that soft fuzzy, really big. So this will run along the kitchen where the sink is. On the back of all these, they've got the no-slip little bubble things back here. Can you see? Eek. So a set of 3 for under $20. Actually, I think it might have even been under 15, but you'll have to check the link down below. So those are the sponsored items from Temu, and I want to thank Temu for doing that. Temu threw, I think about $30 or so worth of credits at me, and for the bell and those 3 rugs, I think it was like $29.50 some odd cents for the whole thing. So thank you, Temu, for doing that for me. Before I get into what I won on the games, I do want to tell you that that is my last sponsored order from Temu. Effective immediately, I am stepping back from their influencer program. And I'll tell you why, because I've been doing it since day one, but I'll tell you why I'm doing it. Temu has changed the influencer program that it is not beneficial for those of us with small channels. In other words, if we have less than 10,000 subscribers, it's not to our benefit because they want us to put up 10 videos a month, which who's got the money to do that? All the product to put up 10 videos a month? In order for them to reward us, we have to put up 10 videos a month. And then they're not rewarding us with much. They're rewarding us with maybe after 3 videos, we get $20 in credits and $20 for cash withdrawal. It's not a lot. It's not worth, it doesn't help compensate anymore for the products that we have to buy in order to put up 10 videos. Then they start changing the regulations. Oh, well, even though the regulations are very clear, they're making up their own. They're saying, oh, well, you can't have any black borders or edges on your video or in your video. And your images have to be crystal clear based on what they're looking at on their screens and not what you and I see. Because I know you guys are going to tell me if my images are blurry. You guys never hold back. So they're changing the rules and making things up as they go and making it difficult to get our videos approved. And then they're just not compensating us for it. They're also holding us responsible for your shopping habits. Is that not crazy? Okay, so what I mean by that is they say, well, you didn't produce enough sales from your videos, meaning that even though you guys are clicking on my links, some of you will, as I taught you and I want you to do, all right, you don't necessarily have to use my link to buy that item. You can and should search for that same item if you want it at a lower cost because the cost may have changed since I ordered that particular item. And I don't want you to go out and spend $3, $4, $5 more than you have to just to use my link so that Temu can say that, oh, okay, you guys are actually buying from Temu off of what you see from me. So they're holding me responsible, or not just me, but all of us, they're holding all the influencers responsible for your shopping habits. That's not something we can control, and it's not something we want to control. I want you to shop savvy. All right? I want you to shop and get the best bargains the way I taught y'all how to do it and the way that I still do it. There's also a problem for those of you that are international. You can't use my links. You have to switch over to, I think it's over to US. Like if you're in the UK, you have to switch your whatever. And it's because you're not using the same links that you may purchase an item that you saw from my channel, or you may purchase an item you saw from somebody else's channel. But if you don't use that exact same link and add it to your cart from that link, it doesn't count. It doesn't count for us. Temu obviously still gets your sales, but we don't get any recognition for promoting that particular item. So they're holding us responsible for things that are not in our control whatsoever. I'm not the only one that's complained to them. I've sent lengthy letters to them. I've had to fight to get my videos approved. So I have decided that I will continue to be an affiliate, which means you'll still use my link, you can still use my code and still get your new membership benefits or your reinstalled benefits. But I am no longer going to do an influencer where I am going to be uploading my videos to Temu and expecting them to reward me for representing their company. I'm going to continue to promote Temu on my own simply because I believe in the majority of the products. I believe in the reasoning and the idea behind Temu, where it can save people an awful lot of money. And you've seen that. You've also seen me do repurchases so that you know that obviously the quality is good on these things. So at this point now, because I'm not going to be an influencer, well, effective immediately, haven't been considered an influencer. As I said, this is the last order they sent me. What I can depend on is your views. Just watch, share it, put it out there, encourage other people to watch, because it's the views that keep my channel going and growing. It will keep my channel monetized because of the commercials that pop up and the views. As long as you watch half the video, at least 50% of the video, it counts as a view and it counts towards me being monetized. So you will still be able to help me in that way. And of course, those of you who go to buy me a coffee, some of you go on a regular basis, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And everything I get from buymeacoffee.com goes into the purchases that I make and that I show you. So that's how I'm going to monetize my channel, strictly by the views. Let's get our subscriber count up. I'm almost at 3,300. Another 1,700 of you, I could get that box out. The more viewers, the more subscribers, the more this channel can grow and keep on going, right? So there you have it. And if you have any other questions about affiliate versus influencer, please drop me an email. You know, I'm always going to be 100%, I just knocked stuff over. I'm always going to be 100% honest with you as to my opinion of Temu and Temu product. All right, on to my prizes. Farmland. All three of these came from Farmland, and I got a coupon bundle on Farmland, which I'll never use because it's like, oh, you get $3 off an order of $150. Sorry, but I don't do $150 orders, so I'll never use that coupon. Their coupons are not the greatest, let me tell you. Okay, so from Farmland, there's 45 pieces, and a couple of you referred me to these Ziploc bags. So when I was playing Farmland before, which I'm not anymore, I ordered these. So they're 3 different sizes. We've got, I'm going to hold them up this way so you can see the 3 different sizes. We've got the lunch bag size, we've got the medium size, and then I think these are gallon size, but I'm going to open them all and take a look at them. And 45 of them for free is a great way to try these. Okay, so these are snack size. You can see how short they are. These are snack bags. The zippers seem to work good. And I like that it does have the panel that you can write on the front as to what it is, the date or whatever. So there is 15 snack bags here. I literally just lost the rubber band that was around them. Don't care. Put them in a bag. Okay, next one. There are 15 of these, and this size, it's kind of odd. It's like a sandwich size. Let me open this up. Okay, they do get wider at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. They do get wider. So this is kind of like their sandwich bag, but it's a little bit longer. And I like that because what I like using for sandwiches is like sourdough bread or rye bread. And those come in oval shapes, not the square little loaves. So these are perfect if you use the bigger breads for sandwiches. And they do have that little extra depth on the bottom there that it will open up for you. Again, it's got the labels on the front. So there are 15 sandwich bags, 15 snack bags. And last but not least, there are 15 of these bigger bags, which are half gallons. Oh, no, they're gallons. Look at that. That's a good size bag. Now, this would be perfect when I make homemade donuts or when I make homemade biscuits and I want to put bigger things in it, if I have big slices of watermelon or anything like that, anything that you would use a bigger bag for. A lot of times I like to open the cereal boxes, and instead of leaving them in the plastic bags and clipping them, I like to dump the cereal in one of these and then just zip it up, or I can just stack them all. It doesn't take up space like a lot of the boxes would. So I use these for a lot of cereal. I'll use these for Levi's dog biscuits. Again, I get rid of the boxes and I put things in the airtight containers so they stay fresh longer. I don't have to worry about it spilling all over the place. Space saving. So 45 bags. The thickness on them is pretty good. I'm impressed. They're, to drop a name, they're like Glad bags. All right, or the regular brand name Ziploc bags. So very good quality on those. I am okay with that. All right. Oh, I've been waiting for this. This also came from Farmland. This is a bacon grease container. Here's the base of it. And this is big. Look at this. Can you see how big this is? This is almost as wide as my face, right? This is a big container. A baked enamel finish, black on the inside, bright red on the outside. And yes, it does come in different colors, but come on. Red should not surprise you. It's plain on the back side. I love the shape and the design of this. Very, very well made. The enamel is throughout. This particular one that I got has the grease strainer. It's got a little handle here, and it's got the screen where you simply just, which is perfect, so you can keep your grease clean. It just sets on top. So when you pour your grease in, it collects all the gunk, the pieces of bacon or the powdered coating, whatever the breading that you might be putting on something. It'll collect all this where I can throw this away. What I usually do with that stuff is I actually put it in Levi's food when I feed him, because that little bit of grease that's on them and those items are great for keeping his coat shiny without giving him so much grease that it affects his digestive system, if you get my drift. So it has this, and then it has the top that goes with it. And the top again has the black edged rim, baked enamel, good size handle. You can set the top on there while the strainer is in place, so you don't have to keep moving the strainer, or you can put the top on the strainer once you're done straining. But it's my intent to leave the strainer with the tin. Once I'm done using the strainer and I wash it, I'll put it back, because I don't want to have to guess where it is or dig it out. I'd rather just take off the lid, pour the grease in, do what I got to do with the leftovers in the strainer. So there's the bacon grease one. And I got to tell you something. This one I want. Oh, Levi heard me talk about him and he stood up and is looking at me. This one I got from Farmland. I had forgotten that I had put this as a prize on Farmland, and I ordered one, which also came, and it's sitting over there in the pack, which you'll see probably in a couple of videos from now. So this one I'm keeping for me. The other one is going to go in the goodie bag for my 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So somebody's going to get a nice big bacon grease container when that goodie bag goes out. And I am thrilled to be able to do that. I love that I can do that for you guys. Okay, hold on. I need a sip of coffee. As you can tell, the fireplace behind me has not shut off since I sat down. It's in the 30s, mid-30s outside, but it's damp. It rained all day yesterday, which was wonderful. It kept me very calm and wanting to sleep all day long, and that's not something I've had in almost 5 years, so I absolutely love it. Okay, this is a set of lamps that I got, solar lights. Here's your mounts. These go against your building. Your heads swivel. They are on a screw, so you can adjust them. You can loosen them up and let it swivel. If you want to put them like this way on top of a lamppost and have them standing up, or if you want to put them this way on the side of a building, you can change the direction. So that's the first perk that I like about those. It comes with hardware to attach them. One set of hardware for each lamp. And you know me, I'm big on the solar, and I love Temu solar items. These are the lamps. And this is about 6 inches, maybe 7 inches tall. And probably at the widest point this way, it's about 4 inches or so. So it's not super big. These just slide down in here, nice and tight. And that's how it sits. Very cool, right? Now, there are 3 solar panels on the top. 1, 2, 3. So it'll absorb solar. It will stay lit for about 8 hours after sundown. So the minute that it starts to come out, you've got about 8 hours of light, which is great because that's when you really want to have it. The 2 of these, I'm having a shed built on the site where my tiny home is going. And these are going to flank either side of my shed door. So that as you look at my shed, it has lights on the side of it, right? I think it's great because it will be in the light to get the solar on it. It will give me light as I walk out the house. Obviously, I'll have more outside lights, but on the shed, should I need to go to the shed in the evening, there'll be lights on the outside. So I'm really, really happy with that. Look, this is a really nice quality. It's plastic. It's not metal. The whole thing is plastic. But it's very, very well made, very nicely designed. I'm really happy with these. And it's a set of 2, which is perfect. Now, I'm thinking once it comes time to put the fence in around the yard, that I may get these same lights, but I will mount them this way on top of the posts so that I have light posts, at least in maybe 3 across the back and 1 on each corner to fence in on the area that I'm going to fence in for Levi's. So I'm hoping that they'll work out good, but I'll find out once they go on the shed. Pretty cool, huh? I like that. I love their solar stuff. If you have a preference to outside solar things for Temu, if you've gotten something that you're really happy with or something that you're really disappointed in, would you please let me know? Because I am obviously going to be getting and needing more solar fixtures for the outside of the house. And I want to make sure, I'm trying to get this back in the box. They never go in the way they came out, do they? So I want to make sure that I can get, I'll mess with that later. I want to make sure that I can get what I need and have a good selection. So I'm always open to your input and your feedback as to what it is that you've had good luck with. I've shared with you all my reviews on the ones that I have. I already have the solar path lights. Those are packed up and ready to go. And those will be very nice. They will light the side going between the house and the shed towards the yard. Some of them might actually light across the front of the house. I'm not sure yet, but I know they're going to go in that front driveway porch area, somewhere around there, right? Okay, so that's the little order for today. Now, what's going on just around the corner? All right, guys, I got to say this. For anybody who is interested in having a tiny home built or curious about how a tiny home is built, or if you know anyone who might be entertaining or thinking about having a tiny home built, I would like to think that you would share these videos, especially starting with last week, all right, which was last Sunday, the 5th, I believe, my video from the 5th, where it shows the floor plans that I designed for my tiny home, where you can see all the storage space that I designed into the house and the layout that I designed of the house. I have watched thousands of videos on tiny homes, and not one homeowner has ever showed the process of how these homes are created. So that's what I'm going to be showing all of you. My home is being built by Phoenix Building Solutions in Greenville, Alabama. They're the contractors that are constructing my tiny home. Now, I chose them for many, many reasons, and I explained this once before, but I'll do it for anybody that's new. They offered the best price, the best quality, the best selections, the flexibility to customize, reasonable delivery costs, because obviously you have to pay for somebody to come in, pick up your tiny home, and take it to wherever you're having it put. Very, very reasonable costs for delivery and setup. For delivery, setup is like leveling and attaching it to the ground and making sure that your home is stable. So all of that combined with their level of experience, all the workers there have designated tasks. When I first got here to Alabama, within a few days of arriving, myself and my friend Sherry, we went down to Greenville and we met the rep that I deal with down there. His name is Ryan. And you'll see him in the videos too, so you'll get to see who I'm talking about. If you go to Phoenix Building Solutions and you check out their videos, you'll see Ryan. He's a big, gentle giant. Sherry and I went down there and we toured the entire production facility. Started with where the bases are created and how they're created, and then where the floors are created, the next step. And then the floors are elevated onto this giant platform, and all the undercarriage, all the plumbing and the electrical is run, and then the insulation for underneath, and the underneath is sealed. And then that's moved down to the next step, which is getting the walls built up, and then after the walls, then it's taking the plumbing and the wiring that was put in from the base and getting that run up into the walls. And then from there, it just continues down this line, but it's not an assembly line because these are not cookie cutter homes. That's another reason that I like Phoenix Building Solutions. They don't mass produce cookie cutter houses. All right. If you want something exactly as they've designed, yeah, you can get it. That's not a problem for them. But they like when someone wants to customize their homes. And I didn't make a lot of customizations. I basically just added some storage areas and flipped things around a little bit to make the spaces in the storage that I needed for my use. And I love that they allowed me to do that. I also was able to pick my appliances for the kitchen. I picked my refrigerator. I picked the range I wanted. I picked the combo washer dryer all in one piece that I wanted. I picked the vanity and the toilet and the shower that I wanted for the bathroom. And I gave them all the links. I'm like, okay, here's the links. This is what I want. And they're wonderful because they say, all right, well, if we put ours in, it has this value. We put yours in, it has this value. Here's the difference. And that's either a credit or a charge. So it's nice to be able to say, in other words, I didn't want a standard prefab fiberglass molded shower. I wanted a nice open shower with a little bit of design on the walls and a glass shower door. And that's what I'm getting because that's what they let you get. Phoenix Building Solutions lets you put your personal touches. You also have a choice to the walls. Now, most of the interior walls on a tiny home are done in VOG, which is VOG, means vinyl over gypsum. Gypsum is what we call sheetrock. All right, gypsum board is sheetrock or wall board. I did not want vinyl over gypsum. I didn't want VOG, right? VOG has the seams that run down. It goes in vertically, and it has the seams in between like what you would see in a mobile home. I didn't want that because this is not a mobile home. So they are putting regular sheetrock running horizontal like sheetrock should be installed. Every wall in my home is getting sheetrock instead of VOG. And I am going to be the one doing the finishing of the walls because with sheetrock, when you move the home, when it travels to its destination, the sheetrock might shift a little bit, it might crack. So it's not going to get finished until it's on site. And I want to finish it because that's my thing, right? If you wanted them to do it, You can make arrangements for them to do it. You can have somebody else come in to do it. You can hire a plaster or a painter or a mudder, whatever they usually call it, a mudder, but you can hire somebody to come in and do it. I'm going to do it myself because I'm going to finish each room step by step, which means I will do the taping and the spackling on there and then do the finishing each wall as I go. Because I'll have all summer to do it, and I know I'll get it done before the weather gets cold and the house will be completely closed up. So you have that option. You have the options for the paint colors, and they have a ton of paint colors. But you can actually select your own paint colors. They work with, I believe it's Sherwin-Williams, or maybe it's Behr, I'm not sure. But they work with one of the major paint colors, and you can pick out any color that that company offers. It doesn't have to be anything they have in stock. You can literally, they'll say, okay, these are who we, coordinate with. This is who we have a contract with. You pick any color you want for your house. It doesn't matter. And then Phoenix Building Solutions has matching metal roofs. And I love that all their roofs are metal because everything will slide off it. It's more energy efficient. It will reflect heat better. It will hold the ambient temperature in your house better. You don't have to worry about, like with shingles breaking off, if things hit it or snapping or having damages. I love that it's metal. So I picked out my trim color. I picked out my house color. I picked out my roof color. You can pick out how you want your porch. They let you pick out, do you want this type of railing or that type of railing, or do you want wire or whatever? I'm getting what they call hog wire, which is big square wire mesh that runs along the bottom part, and then the upper part will have regular screening on it. So because here in Alabama, the mosquitoes are ridiculous, especially during humid days, I'm no dummy. I want to be able to sit outside and use my front porch. So I'm getting the whole porch screened in. I get to choose where I want the entryway on the front porch. I get to choose where I want the entryway to the house. They'll put it wherever you want it. I even got to pick to put a sliding door on the back bedroom so that I have a nice big door, big, huge glass door for light and a place to let Levi straight in and out during the night without having to go all the way through the house and around to the backyard. So do you see what I'm saying about the customization? I have not found any other builder, and I've been looking for more than a year. I have not found a single other tiny home builder anywhere on the East Coast, West Coast, Central, nobody that does what Phoenix Building Solutions is doing for me. And at a cost that is probably, I would say, at least 15% lower than the other next best price that's out there. They have so many models, and I've even sent Ryan a couple of different designs that I think they should take a look at as possibilities. Corner kitchen, a front corner kitchen, and a complete front kitchen to change the layout of the tiny home and make the living room space more of a living room space. So it's wonderful that they'll take ideas, they'll take suggestions, and they'll run with them, whatever you want them to do, because it's your home. So in keeping with all that, now you know the whys and the wherefores and why I picked them. All you have to do is go to phoenixbuildingsolutions.com, or I believe it's listed as PBS. I'll put it up here, PBS, and check them out. They're worth it. There's a lady that I met here through the Local Next Door app. She's going to travel with me this coming week when I go down to Greenville to check on the status and bring some materials down there that they need for the electrical work. Again, that's something I chose. In my kitchen, because of what I'm doing along the kitchen wall, I wanted black outlets, receptacles, switches, wall plates, etc. I wanted everything black. And their distributor doesn't usually deal in black. I said, no worries, I'll get it. So I ordered all the stuff. It's already been delivered. I'll bring it down probably Thursday or Friday of this coming week. So again, that's how much you can customize, even little things like that, right? So where was I? Okay. So you looked at the floor plans last week. What happened so far this week is on Monday, I signed off on the floor plan. I signed off on the blueprints, gave my approval for the final blueprint. I signed off on the cost, gave my approval for the final cost, and they immediately on Tuesday started construction. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, they built the base that this house will sit on. And I'm going to put a picture up here for you. Now, it doesn't look that big, but it's actually about 14 feet across and it's 40 feet long. It's a little bit wider than what the house will measure simply because of the framing that has to go on it. I think it's something like 13.8 or something along those lines, and 40 feet long. Now, you see those spikes, those triangular spikes off the side. Each one of those was a custom weld. Each base is built and designed for the size and the weight of the finished product. And that includes the weight with the cabinets and the appliances in it. It doesn't include your personal items like furniture, but it includes the weight of the finished structure. All right. The weight of my tiny home is going to be about 19,000 pounds. So we're talking tons, do the math, tons of weight. That base that it has to sit on, that's got to be strong. So every 2 feet, it might actually be 18 inches, but I think he said every 2 feet is where you see one of those wings coming out the side of this, so that it gives maximum support, maximum stability to hold my home the way that it needs to be held. Now remember, this is not a trailer. This is not a metal frame home. This is a wood frame home, just like the house I'm sitting on was built with 2x4s and 2x6s and 2x10s and 2x12s. That's what my tiny home is being built out of. They don't skimp on materials. So this, I don't know which side I'm putting it up on, this base in itself is unbelievably strong. I was really surprised that they went this far with it. I was expecting something much simpler, but they went over and beyond what's necessary. There's a regulation for all manufacturers. It's called ANSI, and they regulate how these things have to be built. Phoenix Building Solutions has gone beyond what the regulations ask for. So I don't want to say it's over-manufactured, but it's more than what is required. They take that extra step to make sure that they don't do the minimum in everything. They do as much as they possibly can, and I'm seeing that in this production. The next thing they did, so Tuesday and Wednesday, they did the base, they did the metal. On Thursday, they did the subflooring, and I'll put a picture of here. So you can see the subflooring now covers the entire metal base. In the front of the subflooring, you'll see that there's no sheet planking that's laid down. You'll see that it's open. And you'll see the joists, which are 16 on center. That's an 8-foot front porch that's going on. And obviously, because it's not going to be closed in, it's going to have the slatted floors so that, in other words, water can drain or whatever can drain through it, that they're not putting that sheet flooring down. They're not putting that plywood down on the floor. That will be finished after the rest of the house is done. So that whole front section, but as you can see, you don't see those wings sticking out anymore because this frame now runs completely across all that metal frame. This wood floor covers everything to the inch, right? Everything is doubled up. Everything is sturdy, 2x4s, 2x6s, nice and solid, 3/4 inch flooring, nice and solid, base flooring on here. And remember, this is just the subflooring. This is what everything is going to start to be built off of. So they got all that done on Wednesday afternoon and into Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they did the frame. They did the first base. That's the first 2 steps. Yesterday, they transfer that wooden frame. They don't leave it permanently on the metal until they're ready to start building the walls up. They transferred that via lift onto an elevated platform so that they can walk underneath it. And what they I'll show you pictures next week. All right. Because I didn't want to, there's no point in showing you a picture of it until the work had actually progressed on it. But what they're doing is now they're going to be working underneath the home, so to speak, and they're going to be running all the plumbing and electrical, all the drains, everything that has to go under the house. Nothing goes in the walls until they start to run things up for the plumbing fixtures and whatnot above. In other words, no pipes are going to be technically in the outside walls. Everything is going to be coming from the floor up in. So less chance of anything freezing or cracking or being exposed to the elements, even though the exterior walls are going to be insulated with R13, at least R9 or R13. I don't remember which, but everything, even internal walls in here are all going to be insulated, which is great. So they'll be running everything underneath the floor. I'll get pictures of that for you. And then they put the insulation over all that and they seal it up so that you don't get all that cold air coming in. But what they do leave accessible, obviously, is where you have to make the connections. Because like with an RV or a mobile home, you have to have a way to connect to your sewer, your black water, your gray water, okay? You have to have your water feed to get water into the house. You have to have your electrical connection. And you also have to have your internet cable connection. All that has to be left accessible in the proper way so that those connections can be made. So it'll take them a few days to get all that run. Now, their teams, and I think it's important that you guys know, it's broken down. There was one set team of welders that all they do is weld these bases together. That's their expertise. So they weld everything together and then it gets inspected by the master welder before it goes on to the next step. Then they have their carpenters, all right, their contractors, their general contractors, so to speak, that do the framing. And I got to meet these people. Sherry and I got to shake their hands and say hello and learn their names and get to meet who works on what part. It's very personal journey with PBS. Very, very personal. I got to meet the person that's going to be running the electrical. I got to meet the person that's going to be running the plumbing. Now, I was married to a master electrician for a long time, and I worked side by side with him. So this electrician and I were able to carry on a conversation about the types of wiring used and the breaker panel and everything else and what amperage is going to go into the house and all this kind of stuff, where he showed me an enormous amount of respect for the knowledge that I had that most homeowners don't have, let alone women have. Okay, I hate to say it, but it's true. But you know me, guys. Come on, I'm a hands-on kind of gal, right? Hi, Mr. Levi. He's coming over to say hello to us. Oh, my knee's getting a bath. So I got to meet, hello, baby. I got to meet these people. And then I also got to meet the painter. And I told him, I said, well, my house will be easy for you because there's not going to be anything painted on the inside of the house whatsoever, except for the walls, which I will do. After I get them taped and spackled and figure out what color I want to do. So his job is going to be easy. He's only going to have to paint the exterior of the house, whether it be the walls, the trim work, the front porch framing, whatever. That's what he's going to do. But the thing is, I got to meet him, and that's all that they do. He and another gentleman, they do all the painting. So this is what they do. They're so good at it because that's what they focus on. So I got to meet the painter. And then I got to meet a couple of what I call the general contractors who will put in things like the doors and the windows and the appliances. So there's teams that are assigned to do different things. And because that's their specialty, that's what they do. They don't worry about doing this or doing that. They focus on, the person who puts in the doors and windows. That's his job, and that's all he worries about. And he's a perfectionist. I've seen their models. I've walked through other ones that were on production on the site, and this guy is absolute perfection. I looked at the way the windows were framed before Tyvek or anything went on the outside of these houses, and they're fitted nicely. If they needed a little bit of shim, which only on one of them did I find anything that needed a shim, that's how precise their cuts were and their installation was. Everything was nicely insulated around the windows to make sure that there's no airflow coming through. The quality was there. And that just made me that much happier that I had chose the right company, right? And then I got to walk through one that was just about ready to roll out of the construction zone. They were on the very last part of it. They had, and this I got to tell you too, when they put the flooring in, after they put the cabinets and everything in, they put the flooring down. And then they cover the flooring with thick paper and tape so that nothing gets on your flooring. The last one I walked into, they had just pulled all that paper up off the floor. And my jaw was just open. It was clean. It smelled fresh and new. The meticulous finishings around the windows, the meticulous mitered corners around the door frames, the farm doors, the sliding tracks for the barn doors, the cabinetry, the countertops, cut to perfection. No little missing gaps, no flaws in the way that it was done. Everything measured and cut to a T. I couldn't find a single flaw in that home that they just did. And when Sherry and I went out and looked at their models that were out in the yard, so to speak, I think they had 7 models out there at least. We walked through every single one of them. And again, I saw the same perfection. So I'm going to continue to share with you the process of the build, and I'm hoping that it will help you or anybody else that has an interest in tiny homes. So far you've seen the floor plans. You've seen the plan broken down, the floor plan broken down into the bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, and the living room. You have now seen the base that these things go on and the subflooring that goes on everything. As pictures come to me, excuse me, or as I go down there this weekend, I will be taking a video when I go down there of my home being built, and I'm just so excited to see it. I can't wait. I'm hoping to be able to take Sherry with me, or at least my new friend Carolyn, because Carolyn is interested in having a tiny home built as well. So I'm hoping that maybe she'll take a ride down with me so that she can see. I want to expose as many people to this process as possible, because homeowners, they buy the tiny homes and they never see what goes into them. I want you all to see what exactly goes into these tiny homes, and I want your feedback on them as you see each thing. Okay? So I'll be back shortly, later today or tomorrow, with another video, more Temu products and more products that are not from Temu, but that will be going into my tiny home, because I want you all to see just what you can do, how you can continue to customize a tiny home and make it your own to fit your needs. It's such an amazing journey. So anyway, guys, big thumbs up. Remember, share this. The views now matter more than ever. I depend on you and everybody else to get those views in so I can continue to bring you the products that I know you want to see. Let me know if there is anything particular that you want me to show you, any products you're interested in, and you'd like me to do a review on those. I am more than happy to order them. Thank you again to those who found me at Connie's Little Corner, buymeacoffee.com. Email me if you need anything, all right? If you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. You're going to learn so much, not only about Temu, but you're going to learn about tiny home and the tiny home process, right? Which is major. I wish there'd been somebody out there to teach me about it, but I'm so happy to be able to teach you about it. So remember, stay hydrated, no matter where you are. Above all else, please stay sweet. And I will catch you sooner than you think with more Temu and tiny home news. Bye.